some do's. Listen to what to do. First of all, most important thing when it comes to commercial, look for the right location. And some people get all hung up about emerging markets and the growth and the trends. That is actually secondary. I look for locations that have sustainability, stability, consistency, long-term resiliency. Why am I in Old San Juan, Puerto Rico? Because Old San Juan, Puerto Rico is isolated from the world. There is cruises that pump in thousands of people. The only time in the history of cruises that it stopped was during COVID. And what happened? People came in because it's part of the US, they don't need a passport. People during COVID came in and started using all my Airbnbs. So I was running at 100% capacity on Airbnb. We kept raising the rates till we got down to 90% occupancy. So having the right sustainable location, like you go next to LAX airport to buy a hotel. Why? Los Angeles airport, it's not gonna go any less. You go to certain areas in cities like Key West, Florida. Key West, Florida has certain areas that have the views, that have the traffic, that have the tourism. You know, certain parts of the year is gonna be packed. These type of locations with sustainability and long-term resiliency are very, very important. Now, if you have the bonus of the timing to have a growth or some trend emerging happening right there, that's good. That's number one thing you look for in commercial real estate. I want stability. So when I get a tenant into the building, I stay with that tenant. And when that tenant leaves, I got even a better tenant. And that inflation and all this works to my advantage because they're gonna keep paying me more. So number one, location with some sustainability. Number two, I look for what is the expected income. That's the do, okay? We're talking about what to do. Look for what's the expected income. Warren Buffett says, I buy companies for their future streams of income. And why do we buy commercial properties? For their future streams of income. So what is the expected income? And I get very realistic about it because the seller is gonna always tell you how great the income is gonna be. That's why in our JV program, I choose buildings that are empty because they can't argue with me. Hey, it's empty. I can't be buying it at $1 million. I'll pay you 600. Okay, we'll sell it at 800. That's the best we can do. Okay, but I know the expected income is gonna be 100,000 a year or something of the sort. Okay, so what is the expected income? That's number two. Number three, is there an upside increase for that income? So if there is an income already and upstairs is not rented and that tenant is gonna be in the last month and leaving or something like this, I'm saying, okay, can I add another floor? Can I expand the back? What is the upside increase here? And what would it take to get there? Three things you look for: how much time, how much money, and how much effort. I repeat, how much money, how much time, and how much effort. Usually you're not gonna spend the effort, it's gonna be somebody else there. You're gonna bring the contractor, the team, etc., etc. But it's that effort as well. And you're waiting, it's gonna cost you more money, and everybody spends the effort. It's gonna be some of your effort as well. So if there is an increase in income, how much is it gonna cost me to get to that increase and make it start producing? Number four, what would be the best financing I can get? Meaning I ask the banks, what are you gonna give me here? And what are the terms and conditions? I had a lender, we're doing refinancing right now, and the lender sends me the terms and conditions. And one of the terms and conditions, one of the lines, it says, will not use any other lender in the area. So I called them, I said, how can I get a loan with you and you're not allowing me to grow with any other lender? I have some other buildings with other lenders. And the guy said, the vice president said, well, the existing loans that you have with other banks, it's okay with us. But if you're gonna get any other loan, it's gotta be through us. I said, no, you need to qualify that or I'm not gonna do business with you. But I say it very politely, it's gonna be very difficult. You need to qualify that, meaning you need to say that I will check with you first and you need to answer me within 48 hours. So he replied by email, okay, we will reply to you within 5 business days. And if we can give you the loan, you're free to use any other borrower. So long as your debt coverage ratio remains at 1.25. That means debt coverage ratio is when you make a debt payment, it has a ratio with the income, and the income is 1.25 from the debt. Meaning on every 1,250 in income, you're making no more than $1,000 in payment. That's debt coverage ratio. If it's debt coverage ratio 1.3, meaning 1,300 in income, no more than 1,000 in payment. 13,000 a month income, no more than 10,000 in payment. Okay, so you're with me so far. Location, what is the expected income? What is the upside increase and how I'm gonna get there? How much it's gonna cost me to get there? Is there an upside? Okay, and what would be the best financing? And then if the building is empty, as I mentioned, what would it cost me to get it to perform? Again, how much money, how much time, how much effort? And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Based on the income stream, I want to know when can I refinance and cash out. So if I'm buying the building for $1 million and I'm going to do some improvements, going to cost me 200,000. So now it's $1.2 million, and now it's going to bring so much income. After how long will the debt be paid down enough and the value, because having that tenant have increased the building so much that I can go back and refinance? Because once I refinance, I cashed out my down payment, and now I have what I call endless streams of income with infinite rates of return. That's how you become wealthy.